And we're back. But we clearly broke through these highs here and cleanly above it. So I was still, we had a big move, so I was still looking for longs, but realized that there was going to be probably some retracement back to, a fair value gap, equilibrium, some sort of draw on liquidity lower. So price action wise, look, we had, just go back to, say, we'll go back to here. So we had this price action. Now we dropped into this fair value gap. So could have taken again. We had PPI in the morning, so could have taken a trade on news or before news during London session. We had some fair value gaps here that were still holding. Had some fair value gaps up here that were still holding out of London session. So you could have traded some of these. These all held. If that's your thing to trade for New York, I again don't really have time for that. So I'm trying to look at New York session. Now, New York session was a fair bit of a mess. So we come to New York session, and prior to New York session, we still had this fair value gap. Keeping in mind we are dropping down into a 4-hour fair value gap. So my thought was maybe we would, if we can get some bullish price action to show us, maybe we can come up and take these highs, at least take these highs, right? So come back up, retest this. We've tested this fair value gap a few times. So that was my thought process, and I am not, I do not consider myself a good trader at all. I'm literally just trying to learn, educate myself, done as much as I can to try and better my education. So basically, we came into New York. Now I tend to stay on the 5-minute or the 15-minute. Just keep an eye on things, right? So having trouble breaking below here. 5-minute. We come in. I'm just going to go on buy replay. So we come down, we sweep here. I'm going to drop to the 1-minute just because of where I was at the time. So at this point, I'd actually dropped down. I was sort of looking at the 1-minute, and you can see pretty clearly here, right, that we'd had this big accumulation. We're having trouble. If we had it broken down, I probably would have jumped in and caught a ride down if we had some continued breakage down, sort of like this sort of action, right? So you get a big expansive candle down, you're looking to take something and just catch a bit of a move down, right, with a tight stop. Now, watching price action. We had a sweep now of the lows. I wasn't going to be trading any of this garbage in here. You just get chopped up. And, when you're buying one contract, these moves are, what are we talking about? If you think this gap here, if you're going to trade off this gap here, so we're at 671 down to here. So, you're looking at what, $300, and then you put a stop maybe down here. So, you're looking at $400 stop. It's not really, and then you're just going to get chopped up, right? Same as if you go long. So wasn't really interested in that side of it. So we went there, waited. I waited and waited and waited. And then my thought process was, okay, cool. So we've had this accumulation. We've had this big dip down, taking over the 5-minute. What do we see? We see suddenly we came down and we had a big candle back up. So we had some volume with it. So I thought maybe, just maybe, we're at least going to come back up, take these highs, and possibly take the PPI news high, right? So I jump in. When we come down, we test. I jump in here. So I jump in early. And what I was targeting was, first of all, I was targeting up these highs. And then I was targeting through these highs. Put my stop down. I just put it down below this candle. and it seems like a wide stop.